Okay, so here we go, starting to do the jack shaft bearings. So I'll get rid of that ugly, dirty, very stretched chain. Hopefully I can get that chain in the back there tightened up. It is a brand new chain. I believe it's a number 50 or something machine chain. I can't remember what I ended up using. It's not a standard motorcycle chain. Right now it's about 9:45, 10 o'clock, whatever. Something along that lines. So I know I think one of the bottom grease zerks were broken, but I might have changed it already. I take it that's a zerk. I see it. It's either that or instead I'll have to look at the video. I guess it was this one that was broken. I already changed it then. Let's see if I can get my hands nice and dirty. Actually, I'll pause it. I don't want to get my hands dirty just yet. Okay, so pretty much what this thing was doing before is when I was driving it, I think I showed in one short little video that I did just driving back and forth in the garage. All you hear is crack, crack, crack. And if you look, see, who knows if that was on the video or not, but that is some pretty major play in those bearings. That's just looking at the Yamaha number. They kind of... Well, that can't be good for a bearing. Thank God it's not being used on a crank, eh? It is a 6305. 6305. So, thank God that's not being used on a crank. Otherwise, I'd be kind of worried about sticking that in, even though, of course, bearing this heavy duty is not going to be anything wrong with it. Hoping that's going to be the right one. That's a 1-inch bore. So... the only way to know for sure is if it's going to work is for me to get off my ass and start taking this damn thing apart. Okay, first step, loosen up your chain. Now if you don't know how to do this, you should not even be attempting this. So what I like about this bike is when it's loose, you can actually take your chain right off without actually having to take any your wheel off, which is kind of cool. It's not like you'll be breaking too many chains with this thing. Doesn't exactly make too much horsepower. Oh, that's so dirty looking in there. You can see that other chain. Real floppy in there. Okay, so I got the actual jack shaft out. It all looks to be in good shape. You can see the seal. I'll turn on the light. I just got my hands full of grease, damn it. Turn on the light here. See, the old seal is just completely destroyed. And I believe this is the one that you can't buy anymore, unless it's the backside one. And you can see someone was trying to pry it out before. Sprocket seal is leaking a tiny bit, but nothing worth worrying about just yet. The other side there. Okay, so all I need to do now is I got the big clip out of there easy enough. Thanks to those antique C-clip pliers. All I need to do, those ones are a piece of shit. But anyway, all I need to do now is either hammer it out from the back side, which means I'll have to get the other clip out if there is another one, or I don't even know if you can hammer it out the back side, or blind hole bearing puller, but it's buried somewhere in there, and I don't really feel like looking for it. So I think we're going to try to find a redneck way to get them out. Because if you've seen the play in there, holy shit. The whole, like, it's, I can't really show it on the video, but it's freaking horrible. Whatever. Okay, so I just shoved the bar in from the other side there. and gave it a couple smacks with the hammer, and the bearings came flying out, along with the styrofoam center bushing and seal from the other side. So that's a redneck way to do it, but it worked. New bearings here. New seals. Old seal still good, but still going to replace it with the new one. Sprockets. Fun. Okay, that's the first seal on the bearing in. Really? On my video? Yeah, whatever. Here, prick. Next is the styrofoam cup. Then another bearing. Then the lock clip, or the C-clip. Then the seal. And then the bushings, the shaft, and the bolt, the sprockets, whatever else. Simple enough. Okay, so I got the first bearing in, the styrofoam rubberish bearing bushing, I guess you could call it, and then the metal bushing on the middle there. Next is to put in the second bearing, and my hillbilly redneck bearing installer there from that kit. And then after, I just got to put in the shaft, and then the two bearing, or the seal races, I guess, the shaft, and then the first seal, and then the bolt and the sprockets. So it's pretty much done. Okay, got the other bearing and the snap ring in place. Okay, so I have the seal in. I've never used any kind of epoxy or anything to hold it in, just put grease on it. Turn on my light here. Same with the seal on that side. I know it's kind of hard to see. From what I can see, it looks like it went in nice and straight. Okay, the shaft's in. I guess seal race is in. Same with on the back side there. They only stick out just a tiny bit, just enough for the sprockets to go on. Then I got to put in that stud, bolt, nut, washers. That seal isn't from it. And somewhere in this mess here, there's a pin that goes in it, kind of like a cotter pin, that goes in on the other side. Can't remember the exact name of them right now, but this is pretty much done. I'm hoping with the tightness of this, my chain will be a little bit tight where I can get away with adjusting it proper. I guess I'll have to find out when it's done. Okay, so everything's back together. Last thing is to put your clip back on the nut on the other back side. Nice and stiff, just the way it should be. And after that, of course, you're pretty much done. Put back on your cover, chain, whatever else, and go nuts. Well, I'm quitting for tonight. Got the sprockets all on. Pretty much all I got to do now is adjust the chain. I'm actually going to probably end up cutting another piece of chain because that one's just a bit too short. See if I can get or a bit too long, I mean. Or cut that one, I don't know. See if I can get one that fits a bit better. Mr. Bottle came out at the end, so that's pretty much why I'm quitting. So tomorrow maybe I'll make another update video. For now I just kicked everything underneath, and that's where it's going to sit for today. Sweet. Okay, so I just finished up, well, technically I never finished it up because there's quite a bit more that needs to be done. I got the new rubber bushings and everything to make this fit, the panels fit better. All new rubber bushings for it. So I put on the cover for the jack shaft. Also I put on a new Renthal chain. I believe it's the R1 non-O-ring. Can't really use an O-ring on this machine because people say they rub. The only place I can see that it would rub would be right on here. You can see there's not much clearance in there. And of course my phone's not going to focus, so so I didn't bother getting an O-ring for it. The jack shaft's just a number 50 machine chain, so nothing too fancy. Just want to kind of do an update video. So it has the new chain. I don't even know how many links it was. Can't remember. I just cut it where it needed to go. So Now I'm kind of interested to know what the hell chain that was. The Renthal. R1, yeah. So. Oh, look at that, another free sticker. Yay, good thing I checked in the trash, eh? Some empty boxes. Look at that. Could go on to my wall of these. So. Not gonna bother looking at the surveillance. Probably just someone driving by. I'm not paranoid like my dad. Someone drives by, he looks at it every 10 seconds. So I just want to make a quick update video on this. I do have on order a complete chain case, chain cover. Believe it or not, there's people on eBay selling them for about 100 to 150 bucks just for the cover, when you can order a brand new one for 65 bucks. That's at dealer cost, of course. Anyone else, I think it's like 97 bucks or whatever retail. That's online. If I go to the city, in the city they want 150 bucks for it. It's kind of nuts that they want to be able to make 100 bucks off you, but whatever. Other than that, I got to wire up the lights and it's pretty much ready to go. Technically the wires are already on it, I just have to hook them up. So I just got to physically put a light on the front. And I did drive it in circles in here. Not the most amount of room, but driving in circles, it's very, very quiet, so there's no chain noise anymore. Kind of see marks on the floor when I was driving it, but whatever. That's the end of this video. Everything seems to be good.